I wanted to do internship because I was determined from year one that I wanted to apply for a Big Four accountancy firm. That's why I chose accounting and finance in the first place, because I wanted to work in an audit firm. So I didn't want to do a placement because I was determined that if I do an internship, I was hoping that I'll probably get a graduate job after I finish it. So placement is particularly interesting if you want to find out more about the particular role and you want to find out whether it's the right thing for you. But since I already knew what is the right thing for me, I knew internship is the best option available for me, and it wouldn't take a year out of my whole study program. So I did 2 internships the summer just gone. So first internship was Deloitte with audit, banking, capital markets, and the second internship was with EY, which is the International Tax Service. So at Deloitte, I used to audit investment banks such as Santander and Morgan Stanley. That was quite interesting. And in my second internship at EY, I was doing cross-border tax advisory. So I was helping senior managers and partners on how to advise and even proposal work. So I was trying to win clients, helping the team itself. I think I've got 4 advices for someone who's applying for internship. The first is make sure it's quantity versus quality. So make sure you apply to fewer firms, or make sure you spend your effort into that rather than applying to loads of firms and then not doing well because you're not concentrating, you're not targeting enough. Second advice is make sure you use the opportunities available at CAS, for example, CV workshops, online tests. Thirdly, when you find the companies you want to apply for, make a list in Excel, so the application deadlines when they open and when they close, so you don't lose track. And the fourth is make sure you find out exactly what the assessment criteria is, so you know for an interview assessment center what you actually need to portray to them to win their internship.
So I did my placement with UNICEF, and I was working in the finance department with them. And I really wanted to get more exposure to the industry itself to see if this is the right sort of culture that I want to work in. Can I see myself in the long term being in this industry, and can I see some sort of career growth here, essentially. My application process was really quite simple. It was mostly, I got an email from the career center saying that UNICEF was accepting applications. I applied to them, and I had a final round interview straight away. And with the interview, they accepted me. I guess they must have liked something here, and I got the job essentially. So I was working in the finance department. My role was mostly in the accounting sector, so I was working with internal audit or with the external clients as well. Most of my working hours were related to accounting, but I also managed to get some time in for doing some consulting work with them. So it was mostly in-house consulting in terms of working on developing their business processes, building up new systems, improving existing systems, so on and so forth. So in that sense, I got both accounting exposure as well as working on building new systems for them, in essence. Okay, so there's different skills that I gained. So there are technical skills that are really important as well. But what I found was I value the softer skills that I learned from the internship, from the placement experience. This was mostly on learning, again, going back to the environment fit. Is this the right sort of environment? Is this the right sort of culture that I want to work in? Getting to know, going to build this existing network with these people. So I think those sort of things, we as students, we kind of push that away because you want to work with the big banks, you want to work with the big firms. But it's really important to be able to identify, is that the right sort of environment that fits you as a person? If it isn't, it isn't. If it is, then great, it's perfect.
I wanted to do a placement because I had weighed up the pros and cons of applying for a graduate role in my 3rd year, or actually taking a year out and applying for a placement year, which could possibly give me a graduate role automatically. So after careful consideration, I did find that there were more pros into applying for a placement year. So I attended several careers fairs at CAS Business School. I went to presentation evenings for the companies that I wanted to apply for. After doing this research, I found out exactly what department I wanted to go to, and then I followed the normal recruitment process for PwC. So the application process at PwC consists of 4 main steps. The first being an online test and an online application. Once you have been successful in that stage, you then move on to a telephone interview, which just consists of commercial awareness and meeting the global competencies at PwC. The third step is a group assessment centre, which consists of the tests again, as well as a written and group exercise. And the final stage is a partner interview. I worked in forensics at PwC. That consisted of working in investigations and dispute side, which could be to do with financial and non-financial investigations. It consists of working with money laundering, bribery, corruption investigations. The main experience I gained from doing a placement year was really understanding the career that I will be going into, which was very important. I now actually know what I want to do as a graduate. I actually have also been offered a graduate role at PwC. I was also able to understand my own strengths and weaknesses whilst working out in the real world.
Well, because I feel that nowadays most people graduate with a 3 years honours degree, and to my future employer, what differentiates me from them is having 1 year of proper working experience, and this is something that I cannot learn in the classroom, and the skills that I develop, it's beyond classroom. So I feel that this would be a very valuable experience that I can share with my future employer. Well, I applied online and I sent in my CV, my cover letter, and then I got called up for a phone interview. And then I went for the assessment center, and then I went for a partner interview. Yeah. So during the year out, I gained work experience in 2 different firms. One was in Singapore with BDO, and I was doing assurance and tax there. And then in the UK, I was doing it with PricewaterhouseCoopers. So there I was doing assurance. So in assurance, we kind of go into client side and look into their financial statements, their balance sheets, and income statement, and just to make sure that the figures are not materially over or understated. Yeah, so to just ensure that the figures are true and fair. Yeah. I would advise that whoever that's applying for a placement to never be disheartened from rejections, because it's not that you're not good enough, but it's that the firm culture perhaps does not suit you. So just keep on applying, don't give up, keep moving forward, and then eventually you will find a firm that suits you. Yeah. The most important thing that I've learned during my year out was communication, because every day you go to work, you got to face your seniors, your managers, your partners on a day-to-day basis, whereas in school, you're just facing your peers who are kind of like the same level as you. But in a workplace, you get to meet people of higher level, and I think it's very important to know how to present yourself professionally and to communicate the right way.